Hey everybody, as we work our way through the semester, you'll notice that all of our essay prompts ask you to use proper MLA formatting, and we may have discussed it a little bit along the way, but I want to show you where to go and find all the information you need to try and start getting that right. Again, as the semester moves along, my expectations kind of increase that you're matching it with proper MLA formatting. So let me show you where you go to find all this stuff. There's an easy online source, and I'm going to show it to you today. And you type in Purdue OWL, and Purdue is a university, and OWL stands for Online Writing Lab. So Purdue OWL is kind of the go-to for MLA standard forms. And so we're going to click on, there's MLA and APA and Chicago style, and these are different styles of how to put your papers together. And so different schools may require certain kinds of styles, but also different courses. So this is an English class, and we use MLA, which is Modern Language Association, and psychology classes use APA, which I'm not sure what the heck that is, but that's a whole different set of rules. All right, so I'm going to click on Purdue OWL MLA. It's going to pop me right into their website here, Purdue OWL Formatting and Style Guide. In I go. And so we're going to talk about the three basic elements of proper citation. So there's basically three parts to this. There's the overall format of what an essay looks like, font and style and all that, like what goes where. Then there's the how do I cite my information in the middle of my essay, like I'm writing a sentence. Well, how do I mark that someone else has wrote those words? And then the last part is how do I do a works cited page? So I'm going to go pretty quickly, and then if you have, if you're not sure, you can always use this website and look through it yourself, and then you can always play this over again and kind of, pause it and figure it out. Okay, first thing I want to do then is show you the overview, which is on the left here. It's the MLA sample paper. Clicked on that. And in we go, and the MLA sample paper, so what it shows you is where things go. So the first thing is this is typed, double-spaced, it's size 12 font, so it's your name, my name, the class, the date. Here centered is the title, and then we bring the cursor back to the left and hit tab, and then we type, and again, there's no big title, it's not 20 font and bold or whatever, it's just all even, right? And so this paragraph goes on to the end of a paragraph. We just hit enter and tab. So, and we just keep going like that. So it's pretty straightforward. And again, this sample is here. You can always come and look at it. I want to draw your attention to the next part of proper citation, which is down here. And so they have this quoted material right here. It says substantial increase in a farmer's ability to earn income. You can see it's in quotes, which means that this student didn't write these words. They came from somebody. So we don't know who. So right away here in parentheses, it has last name and page number. So I'm going to highlight that for you. See, it says Danhoff 5. That's telling you someone named with the last name Danhoff wrote these words, and it's on page 5 of whatever book. The problem is there's a bunch of different Danhoffs, and there's a bunch of different probably things that different Danhoffs wrote, and so page 5 of any of them, it doesn't help us that much, right? So this is cited in line, but what does it mean? It doesn't mean much. So that brings us to our third and final piece of the puzzle, which is a works cited page. I'm going to come down all the way to the bottom, and boom, here it is at the bottom of their sample paper is a works cited page. It's alphabetized by last name, and you'll notice the last names are hanging out to the left. It's almost like the opposite of a paragraph, right? Where paragraphs we tab in, works cited, we have it hanging out to the left there. And so here we go alphabetical. There's A, there's B, and boom, right there, Danhoff, Clarence H. Danhoff. He wrote this book, Harvard University Press, 1969. It's an old book. If you get your hands on that exact book, that exact publisher, right, that exact year, and you open it up to page 5, which was way back up here, you open it up to page 5, and lo and behold, you're going to find the exact words that were quoted in this paper right here. You're going to find these exact words somewhere on page 5. And that's basically the system. Now, students struggle because they're not sure. I think the easiest part is making your paper look this way. But the trickiest parts are how do I cite in the text itself, and then how do I do a works cited page. So let me go back to the left to see all this information over here. And I'm going to go to inline or in-text citation, the basics. So this is how do I mark inside my paper. And actually, this is pretty simple. There's a real simple standard here. And I'm going to scroll down a little bit, and here's our examples. So whenever we're writing and we refer to somebody else's words, we put them in quotes, and then we need to give the reader the last name and the page number. That's all they need, is last name and page number. Now, if we put on this first example, the last name is Wordsworth. If his name is mentioned in the sentence, then they already have that, and all they need at the end is the page number. Okay? You'll notice they put it in parentheses. They move the punctuation mark to the end of the sentence, and so it just says, quote, blah, 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 263. Okay, that's pretty straightforward. You also notice they didn't put the word page in there or put a bunch of other clutter and titles and crud in there. It's just real simple. Now, the second example, you'll notice they didn't mention Wordsworth's name in the sentence, and they have these quotes from him. So the reader's not going to know who the heck said that, so they give us Wordsworth 263. So you notice again, the first example is no last name because it's already in the sentence, and the second one it's there in the works cited or in the inline citation there. Okay, and again, the period's been pulled from the end and moved to here. And then our third example is a really important one. You'll notice there actually is no quote in here, but the ideas in here came from Wordsworth. These are his ideas, not this author. So if you're doing that, which is called paraphrasing, right? You're taking somebody's words, putting them in your own words. You're paraphrasing their ideas. We still want to say where those ideas came from. And so here we go from page 263. And so that's the standard. If you ever find yourself in some weird situation, I don't know, some article that you don't know who wrote it and you don't have a last name or something, then you can come to this place and scroll down here and you can find some of the unique situations that might happen. But in general, last name and page number is going to take care of you through everything. Okay, so that leaves us the third and final part, which is that works cited page. And that, I think, is the trickiest piece of all. So if we go to the works cited page, we need to know what our source is to look for a model on how to copy, make it look right. So if we look here, we're going to, on the left, we're going to click out works cited page, books. We're going to click on books, okay? So here here's a simple, straightforward book. It's right here. It's like the Wordsworth example. Last name, comma, first name, title of a book, where it was published, and the date. That's it. Okay? And if you only had a set of simple books, then you would just do that over and over again. You'd be fine. What makes it tricky is we have more than books. What if you have a book that has more than one author? So you look down, book with more than one author. What if you have two or more books that were written by the same gal? Two or more books by the same author. Now, for a lot of what we use in class, we use essays that come from collections of books. And so that's a tricky one, but it's right here. A work in an anthology, reference, or collection. Okay, so what do? Last name, comma, first name of the author of the article, title of the article, but then we need the title of the whole book, and then we need to know who put that book together, and then publishing year, and then what pages in that book did that article come into or fit into. So there we go. So that's how we do that. So again, if you're using one of the articles from our book, right? That author didn't write the whole book. They just wrote the one article. So we have last name, first name, title of the article, title of the whole book, who edited the book and put it together, and then the publishing information. So that's how we do that properly. And then there's all kinds of stuff. But then let's say, you're doing a research paper and now you don't just have books, you have magazines. You're looking at some magazines. Well, here we go. Periodicals are magazines. And here we go. Articles, magazines, newspapers, reviews, letters, anonymous articles. And so basically what you have to do is you have to find what source you're looking at. A web site, you go to electronic sources. And again, it goes on and on. There's so many. So you just find the one that's the closest to what you need, and then you match it. And then even other stuff. What if you interviewed somebody yourself? You made a phone call and you interviewed somebody. You have to find, how do I do a personal, right there, an interview. Here's what you do. Okay, so it's all out here. You just go to this Purdue University online writing lab. You go to the MLA format. And again, there's a sample page here. I'll go to that to finish. There's a sample paper here that shows you everything you need to know on what your paper is supposed to look like. Again, I've been really flexible all semester because you can't figure out everything right up front. So it's like little by little. But now we're getting to a place where you need to start making sure that you're using proper MLA formatting and that your papers look like they're supposed to look for college. And so here's your model. Here's all the information on the left, everything that you're going to ever need. If you have any questions, let me know. You can also stop by any of the libraries. The reference librarians can help you find resources that you need for making it look right. But other than that, If you have any questions, please just let me know. And hopefully you're going to use this resource and make your papers look just perfect. All right, good luck.